What's up? So last time, before I showed you how you can make restringing a guitar go a little faster, we were talking about rhythms and articulation, and I said that I was going to go into pitches and stuff next, but then I realized I should probably go into the physical act of playing the guitar and how you can make your playing more efficient first. So when you decide what notes you want, you can play them more easily. But we're going to start with right hand technique, and first and foremost we're going to talk about the pick itself and how you can hold it, and we're going to move on from there. So the pick, if you play with one, is really as a matter of personal preference, like what kind of pick you use, how thick it is, the shape of it. Personally, I like stiffer picks, with sharper points. And the reasons why is because with stiffer picks, they don't bend as much, so if you're doing like a lot of real fast kind of stuff, you don't have to worry about the pick flopping around. Guthrie Govan had a pretty good simile for this. He said it would be like, imagine like you're trying to write, but the whole pencil is like an eraser. It's all rubbery. You're not going to be able to get it to do what you want it to do. But, really it's all personal preference. If you don't want to play real fast, maybe you just do a lot of strumming stuff, you might use a real thin pick, so you can kind of get that sound, and it's not quite as hard of an attack. But it's all personal preference. Whatever reasons you choose, they might be different than mine. Totally up to you. And holding the pick is another matter of personal preference and comfort. I think most players tend to hold their pick in about the same way, which is like between the pad of your thumb and the side of your index finger, pretty much like that. But like about like that, and kind of at a little bit of a slant to help the pick kind of slide over the string easier, than as opposed to going flat against the string. Put a little bit of an angle on it. But however, you don't have to do it this way. And there are several great guitarists that don't hold the pick like that. Sean Lane being one in particular that comes to mind. From watching his videos, I've been trying to watch and see exactly what he's doing, but I'm not 100% sure. But I think what he does is he holds it between the tip of his thumb and his two fingers like this. And, because whenever you watch him, he's always picking kind of like this. But, that's what I think he does. And, other great guitarists, man, they even use thumb picks or no picks at all. Like Tommy Emmanuel is a fantastic example of a thumb pick player. He does a lot of fingerstyle kind of stuff. And but the point here is to try holding the pick in a different way, maybe even than you've been holding it, just to kind of check out and see what else is comfortable, and not being too cautious or worried about trying different things, because you might find a way that you never tried that really works well for you and what you want to play. But one thing to keep in mind, no matter how you hold your pick, don't squeeze it too tight, because all that wasted energy is going to hurt your playing. I used to practice this by pretending that I was holding a potato chip instead of a pick. So I don't want to crack the chip, so I hold it tight enough not to lose it, but not so tight so that I can use all the little muscles in my hand more effectively. The next part of right hand technique we're going to talk about is the actual motion itself, particularly where that motion is coming from. You can kind of excuse me. This is another thing. Pretty much everything in this video is, just to get you to think about it and try different ways. And even see if you can't come up with ways that I don't talk about in this video, because I'm not gonna be able to tell you every single different way that you can do it. I don't know. There's too many different ways. But finding, I'm sorry, but just kind of think about this. But basically, there are a few places where your picking motion can come from. Getting back to the point here, honestly, with any technique, I recommend that you try and get good kind of at all of them a little bit to make yourself as well-rounded and versatile as possible. But finding what you're best at is the first and the most important step, and that is entirely about comfort and ease of playing. But anyway, the picking motion can come from the fingers, like you can use your thumb to kind of bend and pick, like like the thumb and the index finger, and use those, or but so we can use the fingers to do the picking, or you can use the wrist in a couple of different ways. We can kind of like back and forth or up and down, I guess, with the wrist, or even kind of rotating. Like if you've ever watched Eddie Van Halen do his tremolo picking, the way he does it, he's kind of grips it between his middle finger and his thumb, and like just rotates his wrist really fast like that. There's again a million ways that you can do this, but we can come from the fingers, we can come from the wrist, we can even come from the elbow. A lot of times, coming from the elbow, it can help you to kind of put your pinky down, kind of keep your pinky like on the pick guard or something, or just find a place where you can keep it, and let you really, when it's coming out of the elbow, the best way that I can describe that is like if you flex your bicep and you're just like kind of like vibrating your elbow and letting your wrist just sort of shake, as opposed to actively moving your wrist up and down. You just try it different ways, but these all these different techniques, you're gonna find that they're gonna be best suited maybe to certain styles of playing, and some of them will be easier for certain things than others. So keep that in mind, particularly like when you're trying to play something and like you just can't quite get your right hand to do what you want. Just try picking it in a different way, or however you can manage. But the last thing that I'm gonna get into about right hand technique is like muting the strings with your right hand to try and minimize excess noise while you're playing. So like the way that I do it is I use the side of my thumb here and the little heel of the palm of my hand right here, and I use this side of my thumb to mute like the strings below the one that I'm playing on. So like if I'm playing on the A string, I'm muting the E with the side of my thumb there. And then like the strings above are just with the little side of my palm. That's just like palm muting, but you can kind of create almost like a little pocket of where you can get a nice open unmuted sound by kind of turning your hand just a little bit, or even moving it a little bit further onto the bridge. Because here we got, it's not muted at all. It's nice and clear, and we can hear it, but the strings above are getting muted a little bit. And, your left hand's going to come into play with this too, but we're going to get into that when we do the left hand technique video. But, it's, really, that's it, the little side of your palm right here, to try and get the strings above, and the side of your thumb for the strings below. And really, as far as today, that's going to be it. So again, I recommend trying to get at least comfortable with every one of these techniques, to some degree, to allow you to be as versatile as you can, to be able to learn things more easily. If you've got really good technique, learning songs is going to be super easy. But anyway, if this video helped you, then like it and subscribe for more music-y stuff.